Now we're still at 62 degrees. 75 was our high. It's 59 in Lago Vista, 64 in LaGrange, and with a stout southerly wind, which at times gusted up to 30 and 40 miles per hour today, we're basically set for the same thing tomorrow. What about storm chances? Ahead of that cold front, there will be some storms, but the Storm Prediction Center continues to lift that threat of anything severe to our north. So with that said, passing showers, yes, tomorrow night into early Thursday. Severe storms, nope, does not look like it. In fact, some of you may actually want more rain than we have on tap. Most areas less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. Breezy conditions now, breezy conditions later as we await this storm. You may have heard hail in Pasadena, snow in San Diego County, some crazy weather out in Southern California as the same storm system pushes to the north and east, keeping the biggest areas of instability to our north. So first thing tomorrow morning, yes, some spotty, patchy, light drizzle and showers possible. Here's where the storms fire up for us. We could see some passing showers, storm threat extremely low. We're going to have a lid, a cap on the atmosphere. So while we see a little stripe of showers, heavy storms and even heavy snow expected to our north, that all moves by sunrise and we're back to sunshine just like that. So rainfall totals unimpressive at best, maybe 1/10 of an inch if you are lucky. After that, guess what? We're right back to sunshine. So it will be cooler for your Friday, as mentioned, close to freezing. Looking ahead to the weekend, how about 71 on Sunday afternoon? Marathoners, 42 first thing in the morning.
All right, thanks.
Your Storm Tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler.
Right now, it's beautiful. The moon is out. The moon, incidentally enough, is called the snow moon, and we do not have any snow. This was last year, and as you probably wish you didn't remember, we hit 6.4 inches of snow over the 14th and 15th. That's the fourth biggest snowstorm on record for Austin. Hey, surprise, surprise, I do not have any snow in your forecast in the next 7 days. Thankfully. Also today, temperatures 50 degrees warmer than last year when the high only made 25 degrees. So clearly, what a difference a day makes. In fact, what a difference a week makes. Last year, we had 6 consecutive days that didn't break freezing. Here's your forecast. Yep, I've got a cold front on the way. It's going to come through early Thursday. Look, the coldest day, 58 degrees. That's not too bad, right? What about low temperatures? I will say in Austin, I think we'll be just above freezing Friday and Saturday behind that front, but outlying spots you probably will see a freeze. But that's it. We've certainly seen much worse. Right now, we're still at 62 degrees. 75 was our high. It's 59 in Lago Vista, 64 in LaGrange, and with a stout southerly wind, which at times gusted up to 30 and 40 miles per hour today, we're basically set for the same thing tomorrow. What about storm chances? Ahead of that cold front, there will be some storms, but the Storm Prediction Center continues to lift that threat of anything severe to our north. So with that said, passing showers, yes, tomorrow night into early Thursday. Hello, what's going on? Thanks for checking in tonight. So we have made it to Tuesday night. I know it's past midnight, so technically Wednesday morning. And what at one point looked like we could be in for potential strong to severe thunderstorms, nope, not so much anymore. Now it's looking quite likely that we avoid the worst, which in my mind is not too shabby. All right, I'm going to take away the CBS Austin logo. I'm going to take away the other logo so that we can pop on Facebook Live chats. So feel free to say hello as Rhonda just did. So that was a nice opening. Thank you so much. So I figure while I'm getting everything coordinated, because we're streaming live to YouTube, my Facebook page, as well as the CBS Austin Facebook page, I figured if you get the forecast while you're waiting for me to get organized, then we can take it away. I hope you enjoyed your Tuesday. Made it up to a high temperature of 75 degrees. Danny, hi, how are you? Thanks for checking in. And I just checked the latest computer models because typically there are some that come out like right around midnight-ish. We're still on track. I don't think I'm going to make any fundamental changes with the upcoming forecast. So 75 degrees your afternoon high for Wednesday. There are already, if you've looked outside, the snow moon is beautiful, but there's clouds and the clouds are rushing through. You can really see those in the very mild temperatures that we have in place already. So Wednesday is going to be one of those days. It's going to be almost tropical. You know, when you go, on vacation and it's in the 70s, but it just feels really warm and really muggy. The muggy air will be in for Wednesday. Could see some spotty showers around. We call them streamer showers. Best location likelihood would be along and east of I-35, especially toward Highway 77. Then as we make our way toward Wednesday night and into early Thursday, that's when the cold front itself comes through. And at one point I was concerned about potential severe storms for our area. That is no longer the case. At this point I'm thinking that we will avoid probably much, if anything, most locations picking up less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. Then at this point the coldest temperatures are going to be on Friday. High of 58, low of 34. If I'm talking 34 in Austin, that typically means we'll be even colder in places like the Hill Country and the usual cold spots. So it is entirely possible that we see a couple of freezes in outlying areas. And then as we look ahead to the weekend, I've got tunnel vision, I must admit. The Austin Marathon is on Sunday morning. And right now I've got a starting temperature right around 42 degrees and then an afternoon high of 71. Thank goodness the marathon isn't run in the afternoon, although some of the latest finishers will be coming across the finish line around 1, 2 o'clock. It's going to be toasty by then, by marathon standards, but at least not as bad in terms of warmth as what we'll see President's Day as well as Tuesday, where we could be in the upper 70s to low 80s. So definitely some big changes on the way. As we track temperatures, official high made it up to 75 degrees at both Camp Mabry as well as the airport. Just for reference, I had forgotten. I think because all of us just remember 1 year ago when we were in the throes of the terrible snowstorm, we forget about the fact that back in 2019, we set a record of 91 degrees, right? I certainly didn't remember that at all. Those of you suffering from Cedar Fever, well, still around. Moderate 60 was the count. And typically Cedar ends in March. And what's interesting is I keep expecting any day now that we're going to see elm and hackberry move in, but so far they haven't. So usually they begin sometime in early February. Here we are mid-February, not yet. So at least we don't pile on the spring allergies on top of the winter allergies. Here's a scene from 1 year ago. Hard to forget, right? The snow was flying. This was in the pre-dawn hours of the 15th, which last year was President's Day. When all was said and done, there was a lot of snow, 4 to 8 inches across the CBS Austin area. Official total at both Camp Mabry as well as the airport was 6.4 inches. The 2-day snowfall total for February 14th and 15th reaching over a half foot. 4th biggest snowstorm on record for Austin. I don't have any snow in your forecast, at least not in the short term, which is some good news. And I mean, you don't get bigger contrast than this. We've got a 50-degree temperature difference between what we saw on February 15th, because it's after midnight, this says 16th, February 15th of 2022 versus 2021. Just amazing, the difference. And I think I'm going to lean on the side of the 75-degree temperature. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. Brian, long time no talk. How are you? It's nice seeing you on board. Hope everything's going well in Minnesota. I'm guessing you guys still have snow on the ground, right? I haven't kept up. How much snow do you have? How cold was it today? Let me know. Ooh, we've got a visitor. You want to come up? Yep, we got visitor number 1. Let's get visitor number 2. Skippy, you want to come up here? 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness. Gotcha. We got 2 boys. We got the walkster. Skippy, you want to come say hi too? And we got the skipster. We got the double whammy. It's nice to see you too. Thank you. You're giving me kisses. I didn't take off my makeup yet, so I don't really want you to kiss me. And we get the sighting of the boys. How's it going? Did you have a good day? Yes. Are you going to settle in and take it easy? Yes. Brian, 8 inches officially. Gotcha. Oh, 8 stitches. Is that stitches? Oh, I think you meant inches, right, of snow. Hope you're not meaning 8 stitches. Rhonda says hello to Brian. Renee, how are you? So you said you had it melt and the snow is shrinking. Thank you for your update. All right, next 5 days. Easy to see the big change that's coming in, and that is behind Thursday's cold front, the coolest day of the week with 58 degrees. And you say you ripped on your tractor plow. Oh no, tripped. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope you feel better. And I'm sorry I misinterpreted. I was thinking in the mindset of snow, and I'm like, no, I think you meant inches. No, you did mean stitches. I hope you're on the mend in that case. In terms of low temperatures, as mentioned, probably close to freezing both Friday morning and Saturday morning. But honestly, we've been much colder, so I think we got this. We got this figured out. Live look from our Hilton Cam, downtown Austin, 62 degrees. What's up, mister? What's up? He's like, I'm just chilling, doing my thing. After that high of 75, so it's quite mild. I've got our low at 59. So first thing in the morning, 59 degrees. Even out in the cold spots like Fredericksburg and like Doss, it's still in the mid to upper 50s. Clearly a lot of wind out there, and the cloud cover is increasing as well. Speaking of a lot of wind, since midnight we've had gusts about 33 miles per hour at the airport. 20 miles per hour Horseshoe Bay, 23 miles per hour in Taylor. So, I mean, it's breezy out there. And here are the current winds and wind gusts accompanying that. Sustained winds running 10 to 15, higher gusts from time to time, so definitely breezy out there. There were some gusts in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range on Tuesday. As we look ahead to Wednesday, the highest fire danger shifts to the west. We actually are going to see increasing amounts of cloud cover and maybe some spotty showers, which should stave off a high fire danger for us on Wednesday, but Thursday we will have elevated fire danger, especially in the hill country. Fred, hello, you say kite flying weather. Hold on tight to the kite flying weather. Otherwise you might be part of Up Part 2, the sequel. All right, so here's the severe weather risk now. The Storm Prediction Center put out its new update right around, they usually do it right around midnight. And I remember seeing it come through and going, okay, they didn't move it. It's still to our north. So the biggest corridor of concern is going to be for our friends from DFW up to OKC and along the Red River. They are going to be in a slight risk of severe thunderstorms, which means scattered showers and storms could turn strong to severe. Once you head a little farther south, including areas just north of Waco, that's where that lowest risk is, the marginal. And I'll go ahead and draw a line for you for that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can go back a slide so I can show you. Okay. So in that darker green, that is the marginal risk, which is a level 1 of 5 severe weather threat. And that's actually what we were under a couple of days ago with this system. But since then, conditions have changed. You might say, well, what's different? Why is this the case? Severe weather threat is expected to stay to the north because of what we call the cap. It's that lid on the atmosphere. So basically it prevents storms from basically being able to bust through the lid on the atmosphere. And so it's basically like a warm layer of air in the atmosphere that holds everything down. And so we are unlikely through the Austin area to even see thunderstorms. And if there are any rogue storms, they're not expected to be severe. So all said and done, not too much going on. John Bond, what's going on? I'm glad you're enjoying the weather. Thanks for that. Brian says you'd take 30 mile per hour winds with a 50-degree day anytime. I bet. I know that this time of year, in February especially, you guys up north are just waiting for those warm days. So it is breezy, it is warm across central Texas as we speak. I'm going to go ahead and take all the icons off, and I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to show you guys the increasing cloud cover, which was streaming pretty strong across that snow moon, which is the name of the full moon for this month. If you just go outside and gaze at it and stand still, you can see all the clouds quickly rushing in. So currently we have clouds rushing in from the Gulf and infiltrating. We also have some patchy clouds that are moving in from the north and west. So the bottom line is, first thing tomorrow morning, could be a little on the kind of murky side. As for those streamer showers I was mentioning, some of those are already pushing right along Highway 45, coming in Galveston Bay, up through Houston, and then off toward the north. By sunrise, I think we're probably going to see some of those develop, especially out toward Highway 77 from, say, Milam County out toward Giddings and down to LaGrange and Schulenburg, and possibly into the Austin area as well. So just keep in mind that is a possibility. Charles, what's going on? Speaking of Milam County. All right, so here's our next weather maker. Did you guys hear about this? Earlier on Tuesday, underneath this upper level area of low pressure, we had reports of, dun dun dun, if Renee is still watching, thunder snow was falling in San Diego County, California. In fact, take a look. Very close to LA, there's actually snow. I mean, this is wacky weather. Earlier, there was hail that was reported in Pasadena, California. I mean, just look at this. It's crazy. I should have put the temperatures on here because I'm sure that that too is pretty mind-boggling. But yeah, there was thunder, snow reported down in San Diego. LA has had showers and thunderstorms, and hail in Pasadena. So pretty crazy. But that's all with the same area of low pressure that's actually going to be our next weather maker. So what's happening is that low is going to kind of sweep its way right along the southwest United States, northern Mexico border. And instead of pulling right over us here in central Texas, it's going to kind of pivot to our north and west. Were the storm track a little farther south, where that low was coming right over us, that would put us in a slightly better position to see the strong to severe thunderstorms. But because it's going to stay to our north, that actually puts us in an unfavorable spot for seeing severe thunderstorms. By the way, you can always track this stuff with our CBS Austin weather app. Shameless plug, right? All right, future radar. Heading towards sunrise in the morning, yes to a few patchy areas of shower and drizzle activity, no to anything substantial. So possibly enough to use the windshield wipers on intermittent here or there. Many areas, though, will wake up and be like, it's just cloudy. No big deal. As we work our way through the day Wednesday, we should see some sunshine, at least partial sunshine, develop in the afternoon. Then overnight Wednesday, as you can see on our time clock, we're down to 1:30 in the morning on Thursday. This is when the storms really get fired up. They're going to be in a pretty good swath, the way things look, through northwest Texas and on into central sections of Oklahoma for the biggest storms. Worth noting, on the backside of this system, yes, there will be cold air and there could be some snow that sweeps across New Mexico into the Panhandle and into Oklahoma as well. As we advance through time, heading toward 4:30 in the morning here in the Austin area, this is the little tiny bit of passing shower activity that we're likely to see pre-dawn move through our area, while the heaviest storms continue their way to our north. Let's head toward sunrise and watch. You can see right over our area just a few passing showers. I'll zoom in for you so you can see them. Yep, that's it. That's all she wrote. Not too much. After 7 a.m., it's pretty clear to see. We're going to have those westerly winds sweeping in. So ahead of the front, we've got southerly winds. Behind the front, we've got west to northwest winds. And eventually, drier, less humid air filtering in that will turn to colder air by Thursday night. So there you go, in a nutshell. That was our system, and that was it. Leanne, hi, says hi to Skipper and me, and also Ewok. Ewok's here too. I got both boys, both buddies with me. Brian says you made a box kite years ago, 12 feet by 12 feet. That's massive. Oh my goodness. That's awesome. That's quite the undertaking. So as far as rainfall, doesn't look very impressive. We could actually use a bit more than this. Most areas probably going to be in that neighborhood of 1/10 of an inch or less of rainfall. And in fact, some areas in the hill country might get skipped altogether. You can see some of these rainfall potential totals are running close to 0. So it doesn't look like much of a weather maker, which is crazy given the fact that 48 hours ago, we were actually worried about maybe it being a weather alert day. No more. No more at all. All right, let's walk through hour by hour with our future cast, showing the transition as we head into a muggier morning with some patchy showers here and there. Toward lunchtime, temperatures all the way into the upper 60s to low 70s. Through the afternoon, there you go. High temperature of 75 degrees with some sun breaks around. All through the day, we're going to have warm southerly winds, breezy at times. Toward midnight, we go, a patchy shower here or there. As we head towards 7 in the morning, there you go, there's the front. Not much pomp, not much circumstance, just swinging on through. And then it'll be another breezy day on Thursday behind it. Speaking of Thursday, by Thursday afternoon, we are likely to start to feel the cooler temperatures. So ahead of the really good push of cold air, we're probably still going to see high temperatures in the 70s. But as the afternoon wears on, that cooler air starts to infiltrate. So the warmest areas that will stay warmest longest will be out toward Lockhart, Bastrop, San Marcos, LaGrange. And the farther north and west you are, the colder it'll be faster. So 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you may only be in the 50s in Mason while you're in the 70s in LaGrange. So don't be shocked if you walk outside, say 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, even in Austin, you're like, oh, it's great, it's nice and warm. And then you walk out again around 4 or 5 o'clock and you're like, oh, it's not, it's cold now. So that's what we're looking at. As we head toward Thursday night, yeah, remember I told you it's going to be a cold one. Even with the wind, we're going to have to talk about wind chills again. Temperatures in the 30s as we head through Thursday night. And then as we wake up on Friday morning, this computer model has updated with 33. My official forecast is 34. But you can definitely see we're going to have a good amount of areas by sunrise on Friday that will be at or below freezing. Floor, what's going on? Thanks for checking in and staying up so late with us tonight. As always, I know you're on often super late like I am. But yeah, it's going to be a chilly start to your Friday. So here is about 8:30 a.m. temperatures with most areas in the 30s. And because it'll still be a little bit on the breezy side on Friday morning, the wind chills may feel like the 20s. All right, here's your hour by hour forecast through Wednesday. This is a graphic that I kind of been tweaking a little bit. I think I may, for like next time, I may down here somewhere add the wind speed and the wind direction, maybe just a couple of blocks for like one for the morning and maybe one for the afternoon. Let me know if you think that would be something that you would like to see. But every now and again, I just get bored with the graphics I'm using, and so I'm like, let's do something new and different. And so this is the new and the different, at least for now. But in the morning, patchy, spotty little showers can't be ruled out. And then into the afternoon, some sun breaks and mid 70s. So Wednesday's still going to be a nice day when all is said and done. Floor says, finally. And we talked about wind speeds, how there were some really gusty winds on Tuesday. We're going to do it all over again on Wednesday. In the morning, winds 10 to 20, gusts 27 miles per hour in Austin. So, I mean, Blanco, 33 mile per hour gust. Here's a look at Wednesday afternoon. And there you go, Bastrop could be gusting into the 30s, LaGrange into the 30s. You know, there's a lot of areas still under burn bans, and for good reason. It's not going to be good burning weather the next couple of days because of the fact that anything that does set ablaze could easily spread. So don't do it. Elevated fire danger, no good. Even though Wednesday we're technically moderate, Thursday we'll be back into the higher fire danger. So Wednesday through the day, we got the southerly winds, and then the cold front coming through early Thursday. Pretty easy to see that shifting through. So the red areas are the southerly winds in advance of the front. The yellow areas are the northwesterly winds coming in on the back side of the front, and the colder air will follow. Charles says, another windy day. Yep, it's going to be likely as windy as what we experienced on Tuesday. And then the winds don't settle down altogether by Thursday night into Friday, so that's why we're going to have to contend with the wind chills. Now, as we look ahead through Thursday, any of the leftover rain showers should be out pretty early in the morning. And then after that, we're going to see abundant sunshine and temperatures warmest closest to lunchtime, and then cooling down, as I mentioned earlier, as we work our way through into the afternoon, just because of the cold front and kind of that transition. So here we are with the next 5 days and the coolest weather coming on Friday. And let's take a closer look at kind of the day-by-day forecast after that. So Thursday with patchy, high cloud cover possible. Then as we head into Friday, we see sunshine, and Friday is the coldest day of the week. Looking ahead toward your Saturday, mostly sunny skies expected. High temperature right around 66, and that will pave the way for Sunday. We're going to have a veil of high clouds around, so I'm calling it mostly sunny. The marathon kicks off at 7 a.m., right around 42 degrees. And at the same time, by afternoon, making it up to around 71. And there you've got your weekend. So it should be dry over the weekend. Note, on Monday, though, I've got a 10% rain chance. Wouldn't be shocked if I up it to maybe a 20% chance. This particular computer model is a bit more bullish on some moisture. So Monday could be a day that's a little murky in the morning, but very warm. High temperatures close to 80. Flora says, perfect Saturday. Yep. Like, we love it when our weekends turn out great. Unlike last weekend, oh my goodness. Sunday was fine, but Saturday was crazy. Mac, hi. Thanks for checking in tonight. Late night. So just to look at the potential rainfall that's going to fall from Wednesday through early Thursday. I mentioned to you earlier, it doesn't look very impressive. So, I mean, honestly, at most, I'd say maybe up to 1/4 inch of rain, but many areas are going to be quite a bit less. So just don't hold your breath for much rain. Probably just enough to need another car wash, and that may be the extent of it. The highest rainfall totals over the next week likely to be areas of Milam and Lee County, maybe parts of Bastrop County as well. The lowest rainfall totals expected to be out in the hill country, where you may see less than 1/10 inch of rain. Now let's look ahead. February 24th through March 2nd, warmer for the East Coast, but here we go with potential of slightly cooler air out through Austin, points north and west. At the same time as that, we could also see more moisture than what is typical for this time of late February. So a wetter trend. It's worth noting, and it's not set in stone yet, it's something I'm watching. There might, emphasis on might, be a storm system mid to late week next week. So we're talking Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week. And I will tell you that there are a couple of computer models that are suggesting that there could be some wintry weather in the Lone Star State, possibly some mix that could affect parts of central Texas. That's basically all I've got for you right now, because I'm keeping an eye on it and I don't want to jump the gun on anything, but we might not totally be done with winter weather, and we'll just leave it at that. But it doesn't look like anything like what we saw 1 year ago. Charles says, good luck on the marathon. Thank you so much. I appreciate the well wishes. And so there you go. The 7-day forecast is right here for you yet again. Avery Tomasca will have updates for you on CBS Austin. Speaking of which, I'm going to pull up the CBS Austin website, which you can go to anytime to get the latest on the forecast. But honestly, looking like a pretty nice stretch, and we get to avoid the severe weather threat, which at one point I was a bit concerned about, but no more. Right now, it looks like, Florida Marathon is on Sunday morning. So Sunday. Those of you on the YouTube page, as well as on the CBS Austin page, thanks so much for checking in as always. And those of you on the Chicago page, can't wait for you to join me for the after chat. I'll show you a couple more things. And everyone else, you are always welcome to join on board and join the after chat. All right, you